Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about ESG investing. We will discuss what is ESG, where did this emerge from, which companies are successfully doing it and how it really works. But before we get into it, please subscribe to this channel for more videos on money, policies and business. Homo Economicus, as complicated as the word sounds, is a basic assumption underlying all economic models. Translating to economic man, it implies that all human beings are rational and self-interested individuals aiming to maximize their well-being via achieving goals or consuming goods and services. In simpler words, it says man is a cold, rational calculator. Often for many years, the same logic has been prescribed to investments. For a long time now, investments are seen to be a profit-generating act. However, in the wake of the increasing globalization, the COVID-19 pandemic, and rising awareness regarding sustainability and good governance worldwide, there is a considerable shift towards positive social and moral consciousness. Similarly, in the investment world, a trend catching up on these lines is ESG investing. Often used synonymously with sustainable investing, ESG investing is a principle in financing that considers a company's environmental, social, and governance factors to screen potential investments in that company. It helps institutional and retail investors determine the risk and reward ratio of investing in a particular establishment. Historically, ESG investing gained popularity in the 1970s, primarily in the USA, when public sentiment created the first sustainable mutual fund called Pax Sustainable Allocation Fund. Eventually, the dawn of Sullivan principles led to the promotion and corporate social responsibility against the apartheid system in South Africa. Subsequently, significant disinvestments were made by the US from numerous South African companies. Today, ESG investing is aligned with similar values and ethical considerations that make the investment process not just a purely profit-seeking motive but a moral one. There exist various components to ESG investing. The E in ESG stands for environmental sustainability, which causes long-term and short-term effects on investors' decisions. There are certain factors that have become an eminent part of the decision-making process. A company's impact on the ecology of the planet, its resource and energy efficiency, coupled with the growing awareness regarding climate change, are some examples. The S refers to the social reliability of determining investments. This criterion is related to a firm's impact on its employees and society. Whether or not they follow inclusionary policies, apply fair labor laws, provide sanitary working conditions, foster good relationships with the communities, and many more. It plays an essential role in determining the business morale and productivity of the employees, along with maintaining the company's social image, decreasing risk, and increasing turnovers. Lastly, the G in ESG stands for governance oversight. This factor assesses the corporate side of a company. It ensures the stakeholders' investments are being channeled in the right direction. A good governance strategy within a firm ensures smooth internal functioning of the firm and protection of shareholder interests. Tax strategies, political lobbying, corporate risk management strategies are some criterion that is engulfed in this factor. Morgan Stanley Capital International is a leading investment research firm that divides environmental, social, and governance criteria into numerous categories based on analytical data. Environmental factors focus on climate change, stress on natural resources, pollution and waste generation, along with the development of environmental opportunities. It takes into account data regarding carbon emissions, carbon footprint, water stress, raw material sourcing, toxic emissions, packaging material waste, electronic waste, opportunities in clean tech, green building, and renewable energy. Social factors try to understand the effect on human capital, product liability, stakeholder opposition, and provision of social opportunities. It factors in labor management, health and safety, supply chain labor standards, data security, controversial sourcing, among many other aspects. Governance factors delve into corporate governance and corporate behavior. They ensure diversity, executive pay, transparent accounting, anti-competitive practices, tax transparency, and intolerance for corruption or instability. Each of the three criteria is intertwined and codependent on one another. For instance, an investor of a clothing retail company would be more willing to invest a higher amount if they knew that the clothes sold are made out of sustainable materials, shipped in sustainable packaging with an ethical supply chain and minimal involvement of the company in lawsuits. Each investor has different priorities and might give precedence to one over the other. Nike, for instance, concentrated on the environmental criteria. A pioneer in natural commitment, Nike has a chief sustainability officer who regulates its numerous ecological endeavors. Its Flyknit and Fly leather models, which utilize waste and recycled leather materials, were developed in light of environmental sustainability. In 2015, Nike signed into an alliance of organizations called RE100, vowing to utilize 100% sustainable power across its operations universally by 2025. The organization has effectively reached 100% of that objective in North America. Accenture backs social reliability criteria. It gives close consideration to diversity and inclusion in its labor force. The organization intends to improve its office gender ratios to have 50% female and male representatives before 2025. Accenture's corporate citizenship report highlights its commitment to the UN SDGs. At present, they have 25% women managing directors and are attempting to increase that number by 30% by 2025. Nvidia is notable for making graphic cards and for providing chips to cryptocurrency miners. Nvidia is an exceptionally appraised ESG firm since it has a strict policy against conflict minerals. Additionally, it trains almost 100% of its clients, providers, and partners facing workforce for anti-corruption and anti-bribery, providing impetus to the governance aspect. So how do ESG investments really work? Indices by organizations such as Morgan Stanley, Bloomberg, S&P Dow Jones Indices, Just Capital, MSCI, and Refinitiv are used to quantify ESG criteria via investment analytics, data, and annual reports. Scores by and large follow a 100-point scale. The higher the score, the better an organization satisfies ESG measures. While no single gold standard of ESG ratings exists, it has been gaining immense popularity. MSCI, for instance, classifies companies into three broad categories, namely leader, average, and laggard, and 7 subcategories. ESG investing, however, has received its fair share of criticism as well. Many factors concerned with ESG, such as human rights, might be deemed as immeasurable. Taking into consideration the aspect of adequate wage often might differ from nation to nation, making it highly subjective. In addition to this, usually a lot of ESG data is self-reported and might not necessarily translate into concrete returns. Despite all the censure, research has determined that ESG criteria and their relation to corporate financial performance are significant. ESG factors in deduction are gaining increasing popularity and play a crucial role in the investment process of a more ethical, value-enhancing, and full potential growth of a company in the longer run. This video is brought to you by Shaktiki.org. They are an impact-driven digital marketing agency. Check out their website with the link in the description below. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel for more such videos. You can also share your thoughts in the comment section below. We will see you next time. Take care.